The crisis we face of potentially so polluting this planet that we can't restore it, or going beyond tipping points that we can't come back from, that crisis is caused by unabated emissions.
Yes, welcome back. John Kerry says, we are facing a crisis because of the choices we make on a daily basis. If you remember, recently, according to this article from Fox News, John Kerry family private jet sold shortly after accusations of climate hypocrisy. Bill Gates was also called out recently for this same hypocrisy. He said it clear that he would not stop using private jet. John Kerry saw this and decided to sell it. I have a series of videos I'm going to play. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. And if possible, why not share this clip?
The crisis we face of potentially so polluting this planet that we can't restore it, or going beyond tipping points that we can't come back from, that crisis is caused by unabated emissions from fossil fuels that burn so that we can propel our vehicles, heat our homes, light our businesses. It's how we choose to provide energy to our communities around the world. And it is how we don't choose, but simply allow choices that were made years ago to continue because it's easier, or because business as usual is better, makes more money, because people don't want to embrace the possibilities of a future.
Before full analysis, just take a look at this. Remember when John Kerry showed up for a science debate with a political science degree? It was a total disaster. Take a look at this.
What's the consensus on parts per million of CO2 in the atmosphere?
About 406 today.
Okay, 406. Are you aware?
350 being the level that scientists have said is danger.
Okay, are you aware? 350 is dangerous. Wow. Are you aware that since mammals have walked the planet, the average has been over 1,000 parts per million?
Yeah, but we weren't walking the planet. Let me just share with you that we now know that definitively at no point during the past 800,000 years has atmospheric CO2 been as high as it is today.
The reason you chose 800,000 years ago is because for 200 million years before that, it was greater than it is today. And I'm going to submit for the record.
Yeah, but there weren't human beings. I mean, there was a different world, folks. We didn't have 7 billion people.
So how did it get to 2,000 parts per million if we humans weren't here?
Because there were all kinds of geologic events happening on Earth which spewed up.
Did geology stop when we got on the planet?
Mr. Chairman, this is just not a serious conversation.
Your testimony is not serious. I agree.
Thomas Mercy, did geology stop when we got on the planet? He was speechless. According to this article from Fox News, Special Presidential Envoy for Climate John Kerry family quietly sold their private jet to a New York-based hedge fund following intense criticisms of the plane's carbon footprint in light of Kerry work fighting global warming. The Kerry family private jet, a Gulfstream, is no longer owned by his family charter firm Flying. According to Federal Aviation Administration registration information reviewed by Fox News Digital, in financial filings submitted since joining the Biden administration, Kerry had reported that his wife Teresa owned a stake worth more than $1 million in the firm.
So the most important thing we can do for our ocean is call out major emitters that are not doing enough and countries that are impeding ambition to international fora, all the way from the UNFCCC through to the IMO. We also have to adapt to the different impacts that we see today, and we have to marshal enough finance to get the job done. No country in the world has enough money to do this transition by itself. We must have the private sector at the table. In this critical decade, every moment like this, every gathering like this, catalyzes and creates commitment and momentum. It provides an opportunity to transcend indifference and inaction. And I am confident that this, our Ocean Conference, is going to continue our legacy of success. For our part, the United States is highlighting 77 announcements from 8 agencies and offices valued at nearly $6 billion. This is more than double the commitments that we highlighted last year in terms of dollar value, and thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act, which is the most significant piece of climate legislation in our history, we will be doing even more. Our National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration is highlighting millions for ocean resource management and coastal resilience. Our Environmental Protection Agency, represented here.
Yes, the collapse of the narratives. Yesterday I did a video about Greta Thunberg coming out to demonstrate, and we all realized it was like stage. John Kerry says it clearly here that we are facing this crisis because of the choices we make. I don't understand exactly what he was struggling to say. This same John Kerry has been a hypocrite for a very long time. You saw that clip where simple basic questions he cannot even answer. For a very long time, this topic, why are you using a private jet, accumulating with this amount of carbon it can emit? They actually don't have answers to this. Like I said at the beginning of the clip, Bill Gates was recently called out by a Kenyan reporter when asked. He made it clear that if I don't travel, you will not see me in Kenya. And I will make it sure I cannot stop using private jet. It is like a teacher teaching you, don't eat this, then he turns his face at the same time he is eating the same thing. If you want to pass out knowledge to people, first look into yourself if you are following that same guidelines. If you are not able to follow guidelines that you are giving out, then don't educate people. Yes, it is very simple. We have been seeing what the globalists have been doing at the World Economic Forum, especially for the past 2 years. I've been doing videos about these people. I have seen a lot at the World Economic Forum.
And when you stop and think about it, it's pretty extraordinary that we, select group of human beings, because of whatever touched us at some point in our lives, are able to sit in a room and come together and actually talk about saving the planet. I mean, it's so almost extraterrestrial to think about, quote, saving the planet. And if you said that to most people, they think you're just a crazy tree-hugging, lefty, liberal, do-gooder, whatever, and there's no relationship. But really, that's where we are.